Hi everyone, welcome to Create with Purple Turtle in association with Your Green Canvas. My name is Soumya and I am the founder of Your Green Canvas together with my partner Babita. So in this crazy times, like obviously none of us has seen a crazier time, we all need a dose of Zen in our lives. And today we are trying to get that on our desktops. Zen, the word itself actually denotes something that is completely the whole idea of letting go, of quieting your mind, of utter calmness. And we need that more than any other times in the recent history. So we got started, we started thinking about Zen gardens, and because we wanted to introduce a little elements of it here and there in our landscapes. But now that we are all stuck indoors, I thought it best to introduce it to containers which can be brought to the desktop. When I talk about Zen, people think that's what Japanese gardens are all about. But Zen gardens are just one type of Japanese gardens. So we'll first do a very simple version of a pure Zen garden. Now, Zen gardens were actually invented by Zen Buddhist monks almost in 6th century or so, to basically help them with meditation. And what they did was use everything that they found around themselves. They used rocks, they used gravels, they used sand to denote all the natural elements that they see around themselves. So in its purest form, Zen gardens don't have too many plants and too many, not even water bodies. They try and keep things very simple, because the idea is to look at these places or to rake the sand and stop thinking about everything else. So what we are going to do today is obviously one Zen garden, which I'm planning to do in this tray. And we'll be doing one more type of Japanese garden, which basically takes some inspiration from Zen, but also embodies a lot of other kinds of Japanese gardens like tea gardens, courtyard gardens, stroll gardens, etc. So we'll first get started with our Zen garden. If you guys can come see, what I've done is basically used a regular tray. Okay, I've just blocked off the two ends with like little bits of my shopping bag, and I've laid it down flat with your regular construction sand. Typically, when you see these desktop Zen gardens, they'll be using white sand, which you can very easily find in aquariums. Obviously, we can't get that right now, so I'm using this, and I think it has worked beautifully, if I may say so myself. What I've done is also I've tried to sieve out all the rocks and try and make it as fine as possible. Now, Zen gardens are very controlled. Everything that I use in this will have a certain meaning. Okay, now they typically, what I normally read and what I normally saw in all the research that we did is that they believe in the power of the triangle or the triad. So everything you will see, the placement of the rocks form some kind of triangle somewhere. And it's all about the balance. If I'm doing something here, it has to be balanced somewhere. Because I'm using a smaller container, I don't want to fill it up. The idea is to create a serene sort of landscape, rather than fill it up with lots of plants. So I'm sticking to basics. I'm sticking to some rocks, and what I'm using here is basically these novelty moss that I found in a florist shop. These are all treated moss. If you don't have treated moss, we have also done this with fake grass, the artificial turf grass. If you can find bits and pieces of that. If that is also not available, please feel free to use succulents, because succulents can live for a month or so in sand alone. So bunch of succulents on either side of the stone. If you follow the same principles, any of these things can be used. Now, so when I'm talking about the triangle, is it clear?
Yeah.
The tray is clear? And let me know if you guys, please feel free to ask any questions. We'll be taking questions while we are going. And so when we start with the Zen garden, we always start with one main rock. Now, typically for these people, this main rock signified either a mountain or a large tree or a hillock that they are looking at and they want to bring into their courtyard. So I always start So they started with one big rock. This was the main rock. Then, like I mentioned, everything had to form a sort of a triangle. Now that triangle can be here and one rock can be here, but I also want to leave a little bit of space left. So there was there's always one main rock. There's one, then there comes the middle one, and then the smallest. So this not only signifies unity and it also is very, very soothing to the eye. That is why in a lot of design elements you'll see the power of 3, and Zen Garden embodies that. I don't know exactly what they were looking at it, why they were into this triangle. They do triangles, squares and circles. If you guys know, we'd be happy to learn from you. Now I'm trying to surround. Normally you'll see with these mosses, with these rocks, you'll see these moss. So I'm going to use the moss at the back because it'll be crept in such a way that it's visible from all sides. Plus I need to hide that white cloth. So I'm going to block this. So this is my first angle. I want to leave as much space empty.
So will a recording of this be available?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll be posting the recording as soon as we are done with the live session. As you can see, this is my first thing. Now I want to leave a lot of it empty, but I need to balance out this side from the other side. Okay, with the other side. So I'm going to use smaller set of 3. Again, I'm using this, my main rock. Again, this is not a very deep place.
So we have a few questions coming.
Yeah.
So which bird is that? I mean, it's a question, and yeah.
Which bird?
Yeah, I think it must have been a typo or something.
Okay, don't worry. They'll ask again.
Okay.
The kind of rock that we are using are dragon rocks, but I've also seen a lot of smooth rocks used. So that is good to go. Now, I'm going to put this wherein I can hide. To make it look like this rock is coming from this moss. The moss is growing all around the rock. So as you can see, even now, can you come closer because there's a smaller stone here. As you can see, I'm again using the power of 3 here. Okay. Now this all area has to be left. So you would have seen a lot of these Zen gardens with basically, so I'm now leveling it. Now you would have seen a lot of Zen gardens. I think I'll put it this corner so that it's balanced from the other corner. Here.
So is that natural moss?
This is a natural moss, yes. This is a natural moss which has been treated and preserved.
Yeah.
And I think it has also been colored because this is a very unnatural color. So, but this is a real moss. This is a real, it's called a bun moss.
Coconut husk also we can use, no?
Yeah.
Coconut husk.
But we've also used coconut husks which have been crushed and colored. Just a sec. We have a lot of girls who are now... Yeah, so we have used coconut husks which have been crushed and colored and pasted on a mat. We have used that in some of our other landscapes, not in a Zen garden, but to mimic moss, we have used that. Yes.
So there is one question. What if we don't have much space to place all elements?
That is absolutely fine. For example, if I use this, if I have to use this coconut thing, I'll just use one rock. The idea is to have odd numbers. So if I don't have place to use all of it, I would use one main rock and good sand. Okay, so I balance this out. Now comes the main part. And believe me, I tried doing this in the morning and all of us were fascinated by this. I'm using a simple fork. You can get if you can get like a rake like this. This is a mini rake that we bought in a garden novelty shop. I think it's available at Beruru. But I'm using this simple fork. Now, the idea of raking it is basically to mimic waves, and it also signifies spirituality. The monks meditated while they raked the gravel or the sand. Now, this, for example, come close, please. Is this visible?
Yes, please.
Okay. So basically, very simply, very lightly, I'll just make these waves. Now the waves, when they are around the rocks, they'll make slight circles. When they are around the rocks, they'll make slight circles. And so, this is more clear if you're using a white sand. But the whole process of evening it out and raking it is the real meditative part of it. Now believe me, if you keep this little bit of green or this little bit of serenity on your desktops, it will be something that will calm you down. I hope you guys like this bit. This is my Zen garden on a desktop. I'll be moving to a Japanese garden which is in a container. Please keep your questions coming. We'll be answering them as we go along. Okay?
Can you focus on the sand?
Can you focus on the sand, please?
Please focus on the sand.
Here.
It's okay.
Is it done?
What kind of rocks can be used, and which sand is this?
So this is construction sand, your regular sand, that is a river sand that is used basically. If you want to have it more clearer, you can go to an aquarium and get the white sand that they use inside an aquarium. That also works. The rocks that we are using, basically I've used dragon rocks which are available in aquariums, but again this is your Sadar Ali stone that I found on the road. This is another white stone that I found on the road. So basically whatever you can find, like all my stones are different types. Whatever I could find at home is what I've used, but somehow they work. Like I put them all together and it just works.
So we have another question. What is the significance of the Zen garden?
Okay, so like I said, Zen gardens was started by Buddhist monks in 6th century to help them meditate. So what they tried to do is create a scenario which helps them focus. It's all about austerity, serenity and focus. Zen Buddhism actually was more about meditation than study of religious texts. That is why when they created this garden, it was the entire focus was to look at the rock and meditate, or rake the sand and meditate. And these gardens were formed in such a way that they borrowed from the surrounding landscape. They became a part of the landscape, and that helped them feel connected. So I hope that answers your question. Oh, I'll remove this now. And I'll come to my Japanese garden. So actually the whole idea of doing a Zen garden was started because I had this lantern, but again it became too big for most of my containers, so I'll just use that as an inspiration. Again, I've filled this container.
There is one question. Any alternative for the moss?
Yes, like I said, we can use artificial grass. We have done that in the past. We can crush coconut fibers and color them in food color, and use them as moss. I've also seen treated moss with florists. Some of them will have fake moss, but again, I think it's best that we stick to some of the natural elements. If you can find scraps of artificial grass, nothing like it. Treated moss, by the way, is also available on Amazon. It takes some time to come, but it's available. Okay, now let's get to this other type of Japanese garden. Now this Japanese garden borrows some of the principles of your Zen garden, but this garden, whereas Zen garden was all about exploration, Zen garden was all about meditation, this garden is more about exploration or study and about rituals. Now I'll be using 2-3 different plants, but again, in spite of it not being a typical Zen gardens, they don't use too many elements. They stick to a few, but use plenty of that. Now I'm using, normally they use plants like Japanese acer, maple, Japanese maple. I don't have any of those, and I don't think they're that easily available in India. So I'm going to use something that looks a little bit like their manicured trees. If you look at the Japanese garden designs, they are very precise, they are very thought through. So you will not have any stray leaves or any stray design. Now I have only one big plant, so I'm going to add one very sparse plant. So I'm going to add one small plant and try and make it look like a bonsai of an Acer or Japanese maple. I am using a rubber band to tie it, guys. I would recommend whenever you are tying plants, don't use metal, because eventually it harms the stem of the plant.
So
Yes.
there is another question. What bowl is this?
This is actually a bonsai bowl.
Okay.
But you can make it in any bowl. Actually, it is a little too high for what I had in mind, but this is what I have. But this is also perfect because at least it sticks to the theme. It's a bonsai bowl, so it sticks to the theme. Now again, this is the front, okay? So what I'll do is I'll try and make it look like one of those alpine Japanese maples. I don't want it too low, so I'm going to keep it high and add soil on top of the roots here. So what I have done is basically I had two plants which each were too sparse. So I've tied them together with a rubber band and used it. So I'm going
Is
to
it
plant.
easily available?
This what I'm using right now is called asparagus fern. It is very easily available. Every nursery will have asparagus fern, and it is one of our most favorite plants. It is beautiful, it is ethereal, it can turn into a creeper if planted in the ground and let to grow wild.
And also, where can we get bonsai containers?
Bonsai containers are available. So we have picked up a few, not exactly bonsai containers, but a few containers that can go from Purple Turtle. It is also available online, and we picked it up from the roadside sellers. Then a lot of nurseries in and around Lal Bagh also sell bonsai containers. So now Japanese gardens focus on a few plants. So like I mentioned, Japanese Acer, which we don't have, which I'm making with this asparagus fern. Then they have bamboos, not a lot but a few. So I'm using this spider plant basically to give the look of a bamboo plant. Again, not too big. I don't want to overpower the whole thing. And then I'll use our trusty Aralia. This is an Aralia, guys. Look at it, it looks like a bonsai in itself. So Aralia is a very common bonsai plant. So I hope I'm sticking to the theme. So what I'll do is I want to make it look like it is so old that it is growing in itself. So I'm going to plant it like this, as if the tree has started growing into the rock. It's all about plant staging. When you're building a container, the idea is to make it look like it has always been there.
So there is a question. Ask this. What's the scale of it? It's a repeated question. So
What's
I'm
the
not very
scale of it
sure.
as
I'll
What's
just-
the scale of it? I'm not very sure of what the question means, but what I'm trying to portray here is a full-fledged landscape. That is why I couldn't use this huge lantern in a bowl of this size, because it would have looked incongruous next to this tree, because these trees are supposed to be the big ones, not the lantern. That is why I'm not using the lantern. I'm trying to make it look like these are the big plants.
Okay, so he's asking, what can you please ask the scale of it with respect to the human figure?
With respect to the human figure? Okay, I'll just say that. So if these are my plants, my bamboo, my tree, then this would be the human figure. Right? This would be the human figure. So if you have a small figurine, it can very easily go into it. I can show you one Buddha that I have, which I'm not using because it's a little too shiny for the setup that I have here. But I think that's kind of a scale. We'll go into it.
So what kind of rocks are these, and can it be kept indoor, and where are these available?
Yes. So I bought these rocks from an aquarium seller. I can send you the name in the list. I've also bought them. They're called Dragon Rocks. I've also bought them online on Amazon and eBay both. Now that eBay is not there, I bought them from Gulmarg in Kormangla.
Yeah, so can it be kept indoor?
So they can be indoor plants. All the plants I've used can be indoor, but they need ample amount of light. Like they need good amount of light.
Yeah.
So a light like this, if you have a window which is getting an indirect sunlight, that'll be great. Okay guys, I've planted everything. I planted my rock. I just turned around and just to make sure everything is on scale and looking good. Now comes the most important part, the gravel.
So there is another question, watering details. So please can you tell us about how daily you should water the...
Yes, so these plants need to be watered every alternate day or when the soil is bone dry. Again the same principle goes. Put your hand in. If it is dry for about an inch or so, please water it. But these are slightly hardier varieties. They can take a little bit more water than your ideal succulents or other indoor plants. I'll just show you a couple of buddhas and that I have, which I'm not using because they don't match the look, but something like this size would be good.
So there is another question. So if that is preserved moss, then it won't handle moisture well. How do you prevent moisture getting on those when you're watering the other plants?
No, preserved moss might have no issues with water because we have used them extensively in our closed terrariums. They don't like excessive moisture, as in if it is constant moisture, little bit of water, especially in the open like this, will not harm it at all. If it is colored, sometimes these preserved moss are colored, the color might go.
What's the soil that you use?
The soil that I'm using is a good composition of red soil, cocoa peat, perlite and compost. Okay. So I'm just going to finish it. I just want to show you very quickly how I made the bridge. Okay, I've just used blue tack and stuck the two stones and hit that so that beneath this to make it look like a bridge. That's all guys. You basically use whatever you have. Now I'm going to use gravel, and this concept is borrowed from your Zen gardens. I'm going to use this to denote water. Now there's very simple thing that you can do if you want to denote water in a garden like this, because they use a lot of water bodies. You put a glass bowl here and you can add water there. But because I'm using that river whole thing, I'm not doing that.
Can you please list the plants which can go in the Japanese garden setup?
Yes. Like I mentioned, moss is extensively used in a Japanese garden, extensively. Then they use bamboo varieties. They use like large, plants, large trees like conifer trees, basically like Japanese acer, maple. These kind of trees can go into it. If you have water bamboo at home, water bamboo can very easily go into a Japanese garden. Plants like other kind of bamboos will go. Chinese bamboo will go. If you have a small Chinese bamboo, that'll be very, very nice in the setup. So I've used these chotu rocks. I'll make waves again. See, just to denote water. This is what they do, and I'll be using slightly bigger ones to denote islands. Again, all natural elements, all borrowed, and it's all about exploration. For example, that one was for serenity. This is more about walking up and down the garden or seeing it in. Okay, just going to use some big ones if I can find. I have these again, same leftovers of that. I'm going to use this to show some islands.
Another 5 minutes.
Yeah. So any other question, guys? So I've used an Aralia, I have used a spider plant, I have used asparagus fern, treated moss, I have used very, very fine gravel, I've used basically foraged stone pieces I found and made a bridge out of that. Come closer please, and I'll show you how much water it will take. I'm going to hide some of it. What you can also do if you want it to be seen from the back is cover the back either with this or with more spider plant. I don't have too many, so I'm going to use this.
Yeah, so there are some questions like how can you tell us how you sell plants and about your company?
Yes, so my name is the name of our company is Your Green Canvas. We sell these containers directly through our website, through Instagram page, and also through Purple Turtle. And as we sell containers, we sell terrariums, we sell plants, we sell accessories. So whatever you need, that can be bought from us. Plant related can be bought from us. Our Instagram page is Your Green Canvas, Bangalore. Any other questions related to the container?
No, that's good.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank so much for having us. I hope this session brought a little bit of zen in your lives. Please keep your questions coming. This video will be posted at some point. Again, thank you so much, Purple Turtle, for giving us this opportunity. It makes us get out of our daily routine of Taru Pocha and calls and create something beautiful. Thank you.